Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 133 of our Let's Grow Annual Challenge. Today we are working on the soAp framework. We're adding the soAp framework to an area of mental health that we want to improve. And I selected negative self-talk because as many years as I've been working on it, my little brain still feeds me negative messages. Yours might too. I don't know. You have to ask yourself and see what your little voice says. So step 3 of our process, the A in soAp stands for action. Now, in order to take action on one of the objectives that we selected yesterday, we need to analyze those objectives and compare them and decide, well, what's the best action for us to take? We can take action immediately. Usually whenever I make a decision or a choice or am faced with a challenge, I come up with, well, what's the thing I can do right now? And I do that thing immediately. It might not be the best thing. It might not be the most important thing. It might not be the perfect thing, but at least I take some action and I move toward the decision or the direction that I want to go. Well, I'm going to share something today called the urine analysis. I know it's a terrible name, but that makes it easy to remember. Urine stands for urgent, resources, important, necessary, and energy. I'm going to tell you exactly what each of those mean to me, and you have to decide for yourself how you're going to use them. I rate them. I usually pick out of our 10, at least 10 options, 3, and I run 3 through either a pro and con, a head heart intuition tool, a urine analysis, or some other tool. And we'll cover all of those, not all of those, but we'll cover the ones I use most often this year throughout the challenge. But today we're going to use the urine analysis. So the first thing we ask ourselves is for each of the options, number 1, and I picked affirmations, get help, meaning get either an expert or a friend to help me with that negative self-talk. And then 3rd, I picked the rubber band thing because I haven't done that for a long time. So maybe that's a tool that I can use again to snap myself back into more positive thinking. So I asked myself about each one of those. Is it urgent? Is it urgent that I use positive affirmations? I'm going to give that one a 3. I'm going to give it the highest number. And these little arrows here, because each of these are different. If we want to use an objective way of measuring something, and I like to make things objective whenever I possibly can, because I know that we're emotional beings, and if we can find some way to make things more objective and less subjective, sometimes that helps us to make better decisions and better choices. So urgent, I'm going to give the highest number to the one I think is the most urgent, but with resources and with energy, I'm going to give the highest number to the one that takes the least amount of energy and costs the least amount of resources, meaning money, supplies, etc. So urgent. Is it urgent that I do affirmations? I'm going to give that one a 3, and I'm going to give getting professional help or getting help from a friend a 1. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I don't really like to ask for help. So I try to figure stuff out myself first and then ask for help when I'm not getting the results that I want. Resources. How would I rate that one? So what is going to take the most resources in terms of, and I usually put time and energy together, so I'm not going to consider that. I'm going to say, okay, what would cost me the most money? Da, 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 da. So help is going to get the lowest number because it would cost me the most money, right? If I hired professional help. If I phone a friend or ask a friend, that's not going to cost me anything, so then it wouldn't be. But I have to find ways to differentiate between the alternatives so it's an easy decision, an easy choice to decide what I'm going to take action on. And I'll do the same thing for, is it important? Is it important that I take care of this or do this once and for all? And we can use some NLP techniques and strategies on ourselves to make it more important if we don't feel very much energy toward actually changing or taking action on this particular area or aspect of our life. Usually when we resist something, it means it's even more important than we're consciously thinking that it is. Then we're going to ask ourselves, is it necessary? Is it necessary that I eliminate my negative self-talk? Is it necessary that you improve this area? And only you can decide that. But with necessary, again, the one that I feel is most necessary and most urgent that I do, which we already talked about urgent, that's the one I'm going to give the higher number to. And then finally, energy, time, energy, and effort. What's it going to take for me to do that thing? All right. Doesn't take any energy or effort to put a rubber band on my wrist, right? All I got to do is find a rubber band, put it on my wrist. And then whenever I have a negative self-thought or negative self-talk, affirmations, those I have to find a time. I have to write a few affirmations. I have to think about a few affirmations. I got to remember to do them. Getting help, I got to count on somebody or something outside of myself to give me feedback and input and help and coaching, etc. So that one's probably going to take the most energy and effort. whereas the rubber band one would take the least. Then we add up our numbers. I do a little grid. I kind of started it in my book. I put the URINE on the left, and I put my 3 alternatives on the top, and I just rate each one of them for each thing. And I usually go across the board and compare them to one another. So as far as urgency goes, what's the most urgent? What's the least urgent? And the other one gets the, 3, 2, 1. And then I add up, and whichever one gets the highest number, which is why I switch my grading system around so I can just add them up and boom, the highest number wins. That is the thing I take action on today. When? Today. We don't wait till tomorrow. We don't make excuses, or I try not to make excuses or get too busy doing other things or too inundated with other priorities. I just do it. I take the action. I find a way. I schedule it. If I have to, I write it down. I schedule it into my actual schedule so that I commit to myself and I get it done. Why? Because the most important person to keep our word to is ourself. All right. Jovi's story is in Guide 2 of the Let's Grow Annual Challenge private Facebook group page. At least it will be when I process my videos today. Happy Mothers to all the moms out there. If I can help you in any way, just ask. But do this. Have fun with it. Smile when you do the urine analysis, right? It should be a positive thing that helps you to make a decision quickly and easily. All right. Any questions? There's a ton of run through the urine analysis in different areas and aspects, and applying it to of life, and applying it to different things in the Get Up and Go Challenge private Facebook group page, as well as, I don't know that we've done urine analysis yet this year, so there might not be one yet in this year's Let's Go Annual Challenge private group book page, but there is an explanation in Jovi's example in Guide 2. And you can always ask me, right? Have an awesome day, and I'll of course be with you tomorrow.